Hey, what's going on, guys? I am coming to you today with the Quadjumper expansion pack for X-Wings Wave 10. The Quadjumper was seen in The Force Awakens, although we never really got to see it move, and I'm a little surprised at them doing this particular ship, because in some other formats, I saw it in, for example, Disney Infinity, it had no weapons, yet they put it into a dogfighting game, and apparently it does have weapons. So I don't know if it really has weapons, or if it just has weapons in this game. Or maybe this was a modified one that has guns on it. But first, let's pull this thing out. Let's take a look at it. It's really thick. It's kind of hardy. It's probably the strangest looking ship they've done yet. Although the sculpt itself is actually really good. The paint job, too, is a really nice wash over this red to make it look really rusted and dirty. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm actually pretty impressed with the way this came out. I think it looks great. And that's one thing I've noticed really in the later waves, from like wave 7 and beyond, the sculpts have really, really improved. Like it's just the craftsmanship has seriously gone up, and it was always good even to begin with. But just lately, it's become amazing. So let's take a look at what else we get with the Quadjumper. All right, boy, we waited a long time for this stuff. Now these wave 10 expansions have come with new stuff called conditions, and conditions are kind of new cards that apply persistent game effects, and they also have a custom token. So when we look at our cardboard here, and we see our different ship cards, we also see some tractor beams. We also see this card right here, and this is going to be the condition cardboard piece. So you will need to save that. This is not for some custom scenario. This is the condition card piece. And then there's our Quadjumper dial. Now this also is a ship. Whoa! Look at the dial on this thing. Look at all the red on there, right? It's got the S loop, and it's also got backwards. This ship can go backwards. That's probably the biggest thing about this ship, is it's the first ship that can go backwards. And we also have, look at all these reference cards. It comes with reference. This is like one of these ships that can do a ton. If you are new to the game, I wouldn't suggest getting this ship right away. I think it's more of an advanced ship because of all the special things it can do. But I also think it might end up being a little confusing, and it's not particularly powerful. It's with only 2 attack. I would kind of save it towards the end. But so we've got a condition card, reference card. We've got the Signor's loop, which is like a K turn, but a regular. But you turn a little bit. Tractor beam token. These are all. None of these are new. They're just special things. Bomb token, bomb tokens, modifications and titles. But this is the new one, the reverse maneuver. So I'm going to talk about this one for a little bit. All right, basically, as it seems, the reverse maneuver allows a ship to move backwards, and you're using the straight maneuver template. Instead of sliding the maneuver template between the front guides, you slide them between the rear guides. And if you're going to go, if you're going to turn, you basically, they're showing you a picture. It's exactly what you would think, but in case you wanted to actually read all of the text, then you can do that. All right, so this is the first ship that can do that. That's pretty cool. It's going to get a stress, so it couldn't really do it multiple times in a row without some shenanigans. And here's another look at all of its maneuvers in the insert. All right, let's take a look at our pilots. So Constable Zuvio is our first pilot. Now let's look at the ship itself. So it's got 2 attack, 2 defense, 5 hull, and 0 shields. So kind of weak. 2 attack, or two attack is always weak. 2 defense is moderate, but it'll die fairly quick. Ideally, though, it seems like this ship, you'll be able to attack it once and it'll survive, and then after the second attack is when it will probably die. So if you can make this ship last longer than 2 attacks, then you've done a good job. Now it does come, it has the focus and barrel roll abilities, and it comes with crew, bomb, the tech, and illicit. So it has a lot of upgrade stuff you can do, and this looks like it's going to mostly be a support, or what I would call a shenanigans ship. Not really much of a fighter, but a whole bunch of extra special stuff. So we have our pilot skill 7, who also has the EPT, is Constable Zuvio. He comes in at 19 points, so he's still kind of cheap for a shenanigans ship. When you reveal a reverse maneuver, you may drop a bomb using your front guides, including a bomb with the action header. So normally bombs only come out your rear side. So this allows you to go backwards and drop a bomb in front of you. So this is shenanigans, exactly what I'm talking about. Here's a ship that's going to defy what people are used to. I mean, nobody I know really flies bombs very much. It's kind of like a once in a while I'm feeling kind of, I'm feeling kind of froggy, so I'm going to do something different. And they try bombs. And bombs usually aren't successful. Maybe we'll see a change here in the meta, but I don't really anticipate it. I don't think this guy will get flown that much. Sarco Plank. And also, I want to throw out Constable Zuvio was never in the movie, right? He was supposed to be in the movie. He got taken out, so I kind of, I feel bad. Moment of silence for Constable Zuvio. All right. That was the quickest moment of silence ever. Sarco Plank. All right, so Sarco Plank is pilot skill 5. He also has the EPT. He's only at 18 points. And when defending, instead of using your agility value, you may roll a number of defense dice equal to the speed of the maneuver you executed this round. Now, he does have 3s. All right, not a whole lot of 3s, but he's got 3 3s. So if you want a 3 speed, he can be a little more survivable. So this is your more survivable guy. All right, and that's, that's all right. But that's only when you do that. You kind of, to make him survivable, though, you have to be flying fast, and you have to not be doing your signature ability, which is the backwards maneuver. Unkar Plut. Now this, we all recognize Unkar Plut from, well, you're not recognizing the ship. You're recognizing Unkar Plut from Force Awakens, and he does not have the EPT. He only costs 17 points. He's a pilot skill 3. At the end of the activation, you must assign a tractor beam token to each ship you are touching. So, at the end of activation. So the idea here is he's low pilot skill. He can move. He's probably going to move first, or at least early, and you want him to be able to block other ships. And because of his maneuver dial being so unpredictable and different, you stand a pretty good chance of being able to block other ships. The only downside to that is that you're a small base ship, so if you were a large base ship, he'd be kind of broken. All right, and then we have our pilot skill 1, Jakku Gunrunner. Only at 15 points. This is the base cost of this ship. It is pretty cheap, but I wouldn't call it a swarm ship because I don't think you'd want a whole, unless you were going for bombers, just straight up bombers. But without the torpedo slot, you wouldn't get the extra ordnance, so you'd have a hard time there. So 2, 2, 5, and 0 again, and nothing special about this guy. But for 15 points, it's not bad if you want to try a little bit of shenanigans. It's very comfortable when you have like those two aces or 3 kind of strong ships, and you just don't, you have about 20 points left over or less than that, and you're trying to figure out what else to do with it. All right. So an EPT called a score to settle. We're looking at the cards that come with it. During setup, before the place forces step, choose one enemy ship and assign a debt to pay condition card to it. When attacking a ship that has the a debt to pay condition card, you can change a focus to a crit. So this is one of those. This is what I was talking about. We were going to need this token. So here's our. Look at it. It matches the art, right? There we go. It matches the art. So you remember to save this. And here's our a debt to pay condition card. The condition cards have a different back, and they're all going to feature the artwork that's referenced on their cardboard token and in the card that activates them. So a debt to pay also has, when attacking a ship that has a score to settle, you may change one of your eyeballs to a crit. So this one is a double-edged sword. Where this says they're mad at you and you're mad at them. So whenever you're attacking them, you can change an eye to a crit. And whenever they're attacking you back, you can change an eyeball to a crit. And you can't do more than one of these because it's unique. So it's it is what it is. Gives you guys both. It's good if there's, you put this on a cheaper ship or a ship that's harder to hit, and you put it on their biggest ship, like their Dengar or their party bus or something like that, where you just like, I've got to get those crits. Or if they have a decimator, maybe you choose that. Sure, he's going to get crits back on you, but if you put that on a ship that has a lot of shields, then maybe you don't really care about those crits as much. All right, Boshek. Oh, this is the new one, and this card is the most interesting. It's such a weird card. It was this one was designed by Paul Heaver from winning the World Championships. Costs 2. It's a crew. It has no restrictions. When a ship you are touching activates, you may look at its chosen maneuver. If you do, its owner must rotate the dial to an adjacent maneuver. The ship can reveal and execute the maneuvers even while it is stressed. That maneuver, even while it's stressed. So basically, if you bump a ship and then they activate afterwards, so a lower pilot skill bumps a higher pilot skill ship, then they activate. You reveal the dial, or you can look at the dial, and then they have to, and that's just to keep them from cheating because they're about to change their dial. And then they must rotate it to one of the adjacent maneuvers. So they have to do. So this is very unpredictable, and it's going to work differently on every ship. This is almost like a chaos card, you know. And the thing is, it doesn't specify enemy ships, so you can do this to yourself or to your friendly ships. You could bump one of your own ships to force yourself into possibly doing a red maneuver while you already have stress. So for example, if you wanted to do a backwards maneuver twice with one of these guys, you have somebody else with Boshek bump it, and then it activates, and it already did a backwards maneuver, and now it's doing another backwards maneuver. You know, potentially. It's just all kinds of shenanigans. It's shenanigans, shenanigans, shenanigans. I should title this video Shenanigans. Unkar Plut, Scum Only. He's another crew. After executing a maneuver that causes you to overlap an enemy ship, you may suffer 1 damage to perform 1 free action. So, awesome. Free actions, you know, especially after doing the maneuver, so after you've moved. So those are always great. Of course, you need to note that you could not have stress if you want to do that. Stress keeps you from doing free actions. Thermal detonators. We've already gotten these before with Sabine, but when you reveal your maneuver, or with the ghost, I should say, when you reveal your maneuver dial, you may discard this card to drop a thermal detonator token, and those do damage and stress to ships that they hit. Oh, now this is one of the cool new cards. We only get 1 of them. Huh. I was hoping we'd get 2. Okay, so this is a tech, and it costs 1. At the start of the Place Forces step, you may choose to treat your pilot skill value at 0, 6, or 12 until the end of the step. During setup, after another friendly ship is placed at range 1 of 2 of you, you may assign a focus or evade token to it. So this combos well with a whole bunch of other things. A lot of times you won't need the focus or evade on round 1 unless you're doing some other kind of shenanigans, like keeping your evade tokens through other tech upgrade cards, or if you've somehow managed to deploy farther ahead, which is something else that I believe Kylo Ren's shuttle is going to allow you to do, and Kylo Ren's shuttle is in the picture there. So imagine that. So if you're getting Kylo Ren's shuttle, you probably want to get this too, or does this come with it? I haven't opened Kylo Ren's shuttle yet. That's the next video, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want to get it. All right, Scavenger Crane. This is an illicit. After a ship at range 1 to 2 is destroyed, you may choose a discarded torpedo, missile, bomb, cannon, or turret or modification upgrade card that was equipped to your ship and flip it face up. Then roll 1 attack die. On a blank result, discard Scavenger Crane. Now this, I don't think this card's going to see hardly any use. I think it's a fun card, and I think it's kind of cool, but I don't think, you know, a lot of like competitive games don't really last long enough that you could really make a whole lot of use of this. At least I don't think. It is a way for you to maybe arguably use bombs on the Quadjumper because you can't, you know, you can't get extra munitions, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this card, but it'll be interesting to see people try to make it work. All right, Space Tug Tractor Array, Quadjumper only modification. It costs 2, so a little expensive for a signature modification. Action: choose a ship inside your firing arc at range 1 and assign a tractor beam token to it. If it's a friendly ship, resolve the effect of the tractor beam token as though it were an enemy ship. So there's a way for you to tractor any ship, even a friendly ship, and if you want to force a barrel roll on a friendly ship, which you certainly may do, although it's not always nice to put the -1 agility on there, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So that is the Quadjumper. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like this ship, or were you guys even expecting them to make this ship in the first place? I was not, but I suppose it makes sense. It didn't look like it had any guns on it. It didn't look like a heavily armed ship, and I suppose they did well by making only attack 2, you know, attack value of 2. But what do you think, guys? Are you excited to try out this thing and do some of its shenanigans? Or do you think it's going to be more of a serious ship? I think it's going to be more of a shenanigans ship, and I don't think it'll see a whole lot of tournament play. I would even make a prediction that we will not see a single Quadjumper in the top 8 at Worlds in 2017. We'll see. I'm calling it in February. We have some time yet. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe if you want to catch all of my rest of my videos, and I do appreciate all the comments and likes. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day.